On Dragon Radio, I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with a special guest, Mayim Vega. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you have this wonderful website. It's called Become a Healer of Your Home and Community. But what led you into this?
Yes. Okay. So the website address is arukah.com. That's ARUKAH.com. And well, I guess the reason why I started arukah.com, probably I would say that it began with my healing, my health crisis. Back when I was a young mom in my late 20s, and I had the very first headache that I'd ever remembered having in my whole entire life, but it wasn't just a headache, it was a migraine. And before that, I had never even had a headache before. And then all of a sudden, it was the worst pain that I had ever felt in my whole entire life. It was worse than childbirth. And I had 2 children already by that time. And I had given natural birth, no drugs or anything like that. But it was worse than that. And it just kept getting progressively worse. I thought I was going to die because I had never felt that kind of pain before. And so at first I tried to just take some Tylenol, painkillers, whatever, drink water, just the normal things.
Natural stuff, you have a pain. Here's a pill, call me in the morning kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't work.
Yeah. And there's only so much Tylenol you can take, even if it's extra strength, when you realize that this isn't working. And even when it did work, I knew it was just a temporary Band-Aid, and it wasn't really going to heal me of anything, because I wasn't experiencing migraines because of my lack of Tylenol intake, So it just got progressively worse. And this one night I couldn't sleep because of the pain. And so I told my husband, look, I think I'm going to die. There's something wrong with me. I need you to take me to the emergency room. And so it was the middle of the night, and we had 2 babies, and we dragged them there, and we waited for hours in the emergency room. And when we finally got called up, they took a bunch of tests and asked me a bunch of questions. And then they said, we can't find anything wrong with you. But we're going to have you talk to the doctor and see what she says. And the doctor came to me, and she said, everything looks fine. And the only thing that we can do at this point is give you a CT scan to rule out the possibility of a tumor. And so I said, well, if you can't find anything else, maybe that's it. Maybe I have a tumor, because it feels like it's that serious. And she said, yeah, but, insurance doesn't cover it. And I don't even think we had insurance anyways. So, so I said, well, I need that, if that's all you have, and even if insurance doesn't cover it, I need to do that. And she said that it would cost about $2,000. Well, we ended up spending $4,000 for that night for everything. And I got the CT scan, and we waited. So we were at the hospital room all night long. And $4,000 later, the doctor, who spent about, no more than 15 minutes total for both times talking to me. After the CT scan, she said, we couldn't find anything wrong with you. The CT scan showed up normal. You're just having a really bad headache. And here's some strong painkillers. And I was livid. It's like I just spent $4,000. And how much did you spend on your education, doctor? She spent like anywhere from $150,000 to $400,000 on her education, only to tell me that there's nothing wrong with me. How could there be nothing wrong with me if I think I'm dying here and I'm in the emergency room? There's obviously something wrong with me. But she couldn't tell me a single thing. And that wasn't the only situation that I had like a bad experience with the modern medical system, but that was the last straw for me. Yeah. And that's when I decided to just take my health into my own hands. And I started I started studying. I started studying nutrition and herbalism and orthomolecular nutrition. And I found not only temporary relief right away, fairly quickly, but I realized the root source, the root cause of what was wrong with me.
Now, with your headaches, you found the cause. Can you share what the cause of the headache was?
Yeah. So, and this is really part of what we teach at aruka.com. We teach people how to look for the root cause and have a very holistic approach. And that's the purpose of aruka.com, is to to fill the line for what doctors should be doing, because that word doctor, the root of that word doctor, it means to teach, and that's where the word doctrine comes from, very commonly used word in the religious world, doctrine. And it's a teaching, so doctor is supposed to be a teacher. He's supposed to be such a master in his or her field that he's able to intelligibly teach on the matter. But doctors don't do that.
No, we don't. We got to the point in Western medicine of, here's a pill, call me in the morning. And that's all they do. And even with all the technology we have, that is the root. Here's a pill, call me in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, you froze for a second.
All the technology.
You were freezing there for a second. I can edit it out, but you're good now. All the technology.
Is that better?
Yes.
The drugs, the pharmaceutical drugs, they have really just become a crutch for us so that we no longer explore true health and healing. Let's just give you this drug so you can eat whatever you want and live however way you want and not pay any attention to, to the principles of what causes disease and how to be truly healthy. So, yeah. So it was an integrative approach, so the thing that I found that helped the most immediately was B12. So I had a deficiency in vitamin B12, because when I took B12, it magically went away. And how simple is that? I mean, why couldn't a medical doctor say, try B12? And I'm not saying that B12 will cure everyone's migraine, but it's a very simple, easy, safe, cheap thing to do and to try. And if that is the cause, even if it's not the cause, it's so easy to try, so cheap to try, why not recommend it? So for me, it was B12. And then, with further learning, I realized that the B12 deficiency was caused by stress. And my stress was caused because I was working way too hard at building my business. I've been having an online business since 2004, and those were the beginning stages of my business. And it was very stressful. And I wasn't getting proper sleep, and all just the normal things that entrepreneurs do. But I was also misled into believing that having a vegetarian or even a vegan diet was the best thing to do. And so that was another problem that I was facing, is I was trying to be healthy, but actually the things that I was doing to try to be healthy were actually making me sick because they were causing a B12 deficiency. So I mean, it was very multifaceted, right? It was the B12, it was the trying to be vegan, and then it was the overstress from work. And these things all together were the cause of my extreme pain.
Right. I was just talking to someone that does nutrition, but they look at it as an individual person because everyone reacts different to food. Well, you can't just have a vegan lifestyle. You have to find the foods that work for you. You have to be educated enough to know what your body likes, what it doesn't like, what it needs, and what it doesn't need. There's a lot of education you have to do before you go, oh, before I'm an omnivore going into a vegan, I need to make sure my body has all the nutrients it needs.
Exactly. And also there's a, even if a vegan diet may work for someone at one point in time,
Hmm.
it may not always work. I don't know if you've ever seen that documentary Super Size Me.
Hmm.
Well, the lady, I forgot her name, but she became famous as the vegan chef who healed her boyfriend from, almost near death. And so she her career took off as a vegan chef because of that. And she was really popular in the vegan movement. But then after having some children, and getting married and whatnot, her body just started craving meat, and she started, just not feeling very good. And but she was like a leader of the vegan movement. And so she started secretly eating meat. And then when she finally went public about it and how much eating meat like helped her of, deficiencies that she had been experiencing because she went vegan, um, a lot of people just started judging her and, just shaming her
Yeah,
for,
there's a lot of backlash, but at the same time, you have to do what's best for your body, not for your neighbor's body.
yeah. And also listen to your body, that your body's needs may change,
Mhm.
at certain times.
I think there's a good similarity if you go with the toddler and the toddler eats one meal, that's their favorites, the only thing they want to eat, they're going to have a deficiency eventually because they don't have enough nutrients in that one meal. It, we can go months of living on ramen noodles, but if you stay on a ramen noodle diet, we all have done it as entrepreneurs. We have the $10 a month budget. We, as an entrepreneur for food, we all do it, but we get a deficiency in everything else. The best thing to do is supplement cheaply with vitamins, but ultimately you're going to have to change your diet.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And not just diet, but also lifestyle and outlook. You may need a change of friends, you know, if
Right.
they're causing you stress, or a new career. I
Mhm.
mean, you may have
There's
to
a lot
move.
of different faucets, but the cheapest is usually your diet. Then you go to your mindset because you can't go forward with a negative mindset. So you have to heal that. Then you have to go forward with, oh, what's my lifestyle like? What are my friends like? Are they toxic friends or are they positive friends?
Mhm.
So it's all there. And you can talk to life coaches and herbologists, and these are wonderful conversations because we all need them, because we need to have someone teach us how to do things that we don't know.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, Thomas Edison, he was the inventor of the light bulb, and he was a visionary.
Mhm.
And he talked about how the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but he will educate his patient in, diet, in the human frame, and in the cause and prevention of disease. So this was the future that he envisioned. And I believe that's absolutely correct. But we're not there yet. We're not at our future that we should be and that we will be at, as as a people, as humanity. That is our future, but it's not going to get to our future if we keep following the standard modern medical model.
Right.
We have to break out of that, and we have to stop worshiping um, modernity and pharmaceutical drugs,
Mhm.
and remember that we are designed to work in harmony with nature, and that our bodies can heal themselves of almost anything, so long as we're given, what we need, from the things that we are meant to be eating, and the
Exactly.
kind of lives that we're supposed to be living.
I'm living proof to this. 2011, I had 2 strokes. I was in a wheelchair. I could not talk. I could barely hold a pencil. Here I am, 2021, with 17 books wrote, a season 4 of this podcast, and I hike 2 miles a day because I changed my diet. I changed the outlook of, okay, I'm not going to be in this wheelchair forever. I'm not doing it. And I refuse to take pills because if pills don't make me feel better, they just shut me up.
Right, right. Exactly. And that's funny. That reminds me of a story of, one of the experts that our students learn from at aruka.com is a surgeon, and he complains about the modern medical model. And he's a surgeon, but he talks about how, he'll perform surgery on a patient, and then while the patient is recovering, they're giving, the nutritionists who
Mhm,
go to, nutrition school,
mhm.
they plan the menu for the hospitals, and they're giving these people who are trying to recover from a surgery junk,
Yeah.
things that they should not be eating, especially in a hospital. I mean, hospitals, the last place junk food should be served, but hospitals don't give you fresh pressed juice and,
Mm-mm.
organic, whatever, and grass fed, blah, blah, blah. They don't do that when they should be. That's who should be teaching everyone what is good to eat, but they're giving, it's the people that are designing our hospital menus and our school cafeteria menus don't know anything about nutrition, even though they majored in nutrition.
When was the last time we have these multi-billion-dollar campuses we call hospitals? When was the last time one of them has a farm or a greenhouse? I don't see any farms or greenhouses attached to hospitals.
That would be a sight to see if there were.
I mean, you have hospitals, you want organic, okay, let's put a farm that's organic attached to the hospitals. Now let's grow our own food and process our own food here from our gardens, from our farms, or even within the neighborhood, instead of getting the processed junk that we get. Wouldn't that be better for our patients?
Yes, it would be better for the patients, but not better for the hospital. And that's why they don't have that. And that's why they serve the junk food. That's why they don't teach any people anything about, true health and healing, because we don't really have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system. And they want to keep us sick. They want to keep us eating junk food, because if we knew the truth about what is healthy and what can heal us, we wouldn't need them anymore. And that's
Exactly.
kind of, yeah, and that's kind of our mission. you know you read our goal, or our tagline: become the healer of your home and your community, and build a profitable online health coaching business. And if we raised up enough holistic healers in this world, we would put the modern medical system out of business. And this is, they have a monopoly right now, but this is our future. This has to be, uh,
Why do
human.
we have so many more life coaches coming up instead of psychologists? Well, it's psychologists, the mind people that go to school for years to learn how the inner workings of mind work, we figured out it doesn't help. It just makes us stay depressed and nothing changes. Well, we have or life coaches. They actually take control and show us how to live our life. Well, we have this within the medical community too. We just don't have enough of them to make a difference yet.
Yes, exactly. And also, I think people are scared. There's a lot of fear
Mhm.
instilled, because they say, don't do anything until you talk to your doctor first.
Mhm.
And, if there's anything serious, refer them to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And it's like, well, I mean, there are those legal measures in place, but we just have to be fearless. We have to be fearless to break free from that model. I was just listening to another life coach telling her story last night about how, she wanted to help people. So she went to college, and and she majored in psychotherapy. And then when she learned e- everything that she learned in psychotherapy, it just made her depressed. And she
Mhm.
was like, this is not what I want. I want to help people. I don't want to. It's like everything that she was doing was very depressing. It depressed her. And she was like, and this was before she even knew what a life coach was. And then so she quit that. She went into the corporate world, and then she watched some show about a life coach, and the lady was telling her about how she was a life coach and what she did for people. And she's like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I don't want to be a psychotherapist. I want to be a life coach. But she had never even heard of what a life coach was.
Mhm.
You know, and
Eventually, we'll actually have, well, we have classes, but we're eventually have degrees in life coaching. You know, so we can be certified. We can get certified now through different Bob Proctor or Tony Romo and, you know, different things like that. But eventually, we're actually have the education in colleges that recognize the life coach as a degree. Why? Because it works better than psychotherapy.
Mhm. And I think one of the main beauties of life coaching is that it focuses on the positive and on the future.
Mhm.
Whereas psychotherapy, they want you to mull over your problems forever and ever and ever. How is that constructive for anything? I mean, I remember when my husband and I were having marital issues. How did we heal? We didn't heal by rehashing everything that was wrong with him and with me, and reliving all of our arguments. No, we actually, what we did was, we read a bunch of books together, marriage books together, and we talked it over, and we tried to paint a picture of what we wanted our marriage to be. And that's what a good life coach does too. A good life coach helps you paint a picture of what you want your life to be, and then gives you actionable steps on how to slowly get there, step by step.
Right. And we have to have the realistic outlook. It's not going to happen overnight. It doesn't matter if you're healing your body, doesn't matter if you're healing your mind or healing your heart. It does not happen overnight. It takes baby steps.
Yes, absolutely. It takes baby steps, and it takes commitment,
Mhm.
which is why, I feel like it's going to take, one of my coaches, she said that the very first person that ever offered her life coaching offered her a year package. And she didn't think that, like, it was news to her that it could take less than a year. Like, of course, if you have major issues, why wouldn't it take a year? I mean, how long did you spend digging that hole?
Mhm.
Not just yourself. I mean, also your circumstances and, whatever.
Right.
But it took you a long time to get into that problem, into that hole that you're in. You need to be willing to invest time to get out of it as well. And having a life coach is like having the best friend that you could have, you know, because I feel like, having a psychotherapist
Mhm.
is, it's like there's something wrong with you. The psychotherapist views you as someone who's sick. There's something wrong with you. But a life coach is more like you're like a coach, like an athletic coach, for example. The coach believes that the athlete is a star, and he's going to do great things with his life and for his team. And this is the same thing that a life coach is. A
Mhm.
life coach believes in you and encourages you and helps you achieve your goals.
Exactly. Your life coach is your cheerleading squad that's behind you. But at the same time, you actually have to listen to your cheerleading squad over the negative people that are around you.
But not just a cheerleading squad, because a life coach also
Mhm.
provides strategy,
Right.
just like a coach. So a
Right.
little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You see what I was trying to make that analogy. But we live in a world of instant gratification. We have the instant gratification in fast foods, junk foods, sweets, everything that's processed in the grocery aisle. Then you have your non-instant gratification that costs more, which is your organic. You have to actually make the food at home, and you need that to thrive. Then you have your life coach. Then you have your herbologist to teach you what herbs and spices and things in nature to get you healthy. There's a lot of aspects here. It's not just one aspect you have to look at. You have to look at everything, and you might have to have 3 or 4 coaches to get yourself where you want to be.
No, definitely. But also, I also feel that every healer should know the field of life coaching should
Mhm.
study that, because when you heal someone, like if you're going to be a holistic healer, right?
Mhm.
If you're going to be a holistic healer, that means mind, body, spirit, and you can break that up into further fields like career and finance and
Right.
family, whatever. And so if you really want to heal, like life, relationships, goals, that's an important part of healing. So like, for example, when I had my migraine issue, I didn't just need B12 and I didn't just need to change my diet. I needed to have a better outlook on life in terms of how to achieve my business and financial goals. And that is in the realm of life coaching, not specifically herbalism or nutrition, but all of them were integral to maintain true, complete, holistic health and healing.
I mean, I don't know too many life coaches that have a background in nutrition. I'm one of them, but I don't know too many. I don't know too many that deal with Eastern medicine other than just talking, your problems out and finding solutions that don't involve going to the doctor, for personal or business or whatever. There's different aspects, and you're going to have to find one that works for you. It's not one size fits all. I mean, I have a great mentor that I work with, and he's great for me. He's great for other people. He may not be great for you. You may have to try on different shoes to find one that fits.
Yeah, and I believe in having many teachers and coaches as well. For example, at aruka.com, we teach our students, from various different experts, and they may conflict with each other. Like there'll be a nutritionist, there'll be an orthomolecular nutritionist that teaches about vitamin, mega dose vitamin therapy, and there may be an herbalist that teaches about herbalism, and they may disagree with each other. Like the herbalist experts may say, you should never use synthetic vitamins because those are bad. And then, a medical doctor that's holistic might say, oh, don't use certain herbs because they're unhealthy. And really what you have to do is you have to take the best out of all of them. Each is an expert in their own field. Don't necessarily trust one person for everything because they might not know the answer to everything. And it's okay. That doesn't mean that they're wrong or they're bad or, whatever. It means that they know what they know, and to glean the best from that, and they're expert in that field.
Exactly.
And don't worry if different people contradict each other. That's just life.
Exactly. You can put 100 experts in a room, and they're all going to have different opinions. They all come from different life experiences. They all come from different walks of life, and were all taught differently. So they're all going to have different opinions. You have to find the opinions that work for you and your body. But we are almost out of time. So where can our listeners and our viewers find you and all that you do?
Well, we have our website, aruka.com, arukh.com. It's for, health coach certification, and we teach naturopathic herbalism and also health and life coaching, because life coaching is an important part of it. It's an important part of healing, the life coaching part, and also online business and marketing, because I feel like that is the most efficient way to become an effective healer. And also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arukah, ARUKAH, and I also have a new podcast. You can find it at anchor.fm/Arukah, ARUKAH.
Awesome. You have everything linked to the single name. So I'm pretty sure if you put the name in Google, it'll give you all the pages.
There's actually a lot of businesses named Arukah, so
really?
It's kind of hard to find. Yeah, but I have the main one. I have arukah.com. I have arukah.com. So
I wouldn't think there's a lot of places with that name, but I could be wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. I will admit it. I'm not an expert. But thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yes, absolutely. And I'd like to share this on my YouTube as well. If you could share also your website address.
I will do so. and we'll get everything interlinked because it's all about networking and helping as many people as possible. But for all of our listeners and our viewers, happy healing.